It's that easy. Kitchen recipes.
Well, the word for today is old fashioned. You've heard of old fashioned lemonade, old fashioned buttermilk biscuits. Well, today we're talking about old fashioned salmon croquettes, taking you back to something your parents or grandparents had you growing up on. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the ingredients we're going to need to make these great tasting Southern style salmon patties are going to be Cavender's Greek seasoning, minced garlic, coarse black pepper, garlic powder, 2 cans of pink salmon. I'm using the black top, bell pepper, an onion, a mixing bowl, and some vegetable oil.
Also, 2 eggs, a half a cup of cornmeal, and a half a cup of flour.
The first thing we want to do is get our oil heated up. I'm using a 16 by 12 deep fry skillet. So we're going to go ahead and get that oil poured in here and turn it up to 400 and preheat it. I'm going to pour about half of this bottle in here. I like to have a good amount of oil in here while I'm doing those salmon. I've got my oil, it's about a ½ inch up, and that's plenty of oil to cook the salmon because we will be flipping them over.
Turn that down to 400 and let preheat.
I'll go ahead and close the lid on that. This can also be done with fresh salmon. You'd have to cook it first. You can use fresh salmon to make this same recipe, but this is from the can. Some people prefer the can, some people don't. It's really good to me still, so that's a choice. What we're going to do is we're going to drain the juice off of the salmon before we put it in the bowl. You'll just tilt it like something like this and just get the juice out of there. And they have these pulverized bones that are inside of the salmon. Sometimes you can just mash them up in there. You open it up, see those little bones there? They're very soft. You can just mash them into the meat and use them if you like. Sometimes I just like picking them out. They won't do you any harm. Some people put them in there and some people don't. I prefer to take them out. We'll just place these in our bowl here and get ready for our second can. We're going to cut half of a bell pepper. And we're going to remove the seeds. I always just pull the core off of here, rinse it off in the sink. We'll go ahead and chop the half a bell pepper. You just keep working that. Cut it fine as you like. I don't like mine to be too chunky. I'm going to cut about a quarter of this onion, maybe 3 slices. Chop those up. I like cutting my onions in half so I can work against the vertical lines. We will now add the cornmeal and flour mixture. Just kind of sprinkle it around. Crack the 2 eggs. We'll add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic,
1 teaspoon of garlic powder,
about 1 teaspoon of coarse black pepper. We will add the onions and the bell peppers. And about 1 tablespoon of the Cavender seasoning. You will now get your hands in here and just grate and mix everything up. Twist and turn and make sure you mix it and knead it really well. Just massage that in, twist it and turn it. Now that should be mixed really well. Now we're going to patty these up. I like to get my patty balls about the size of a pool ball, or maybe a little bigger. Compact them and just press, and don't try to get them super flat, but you can get them in a good size because they will swell as they cook, and you want that crunchy outside. As you can see, I was able to get 6 good sized patties out of this mixture. We're going to go now and put these inside the skillet. Okay, we are ready to go. Our fryer is at the right temp. I will now drop these patties in here. We're going to go about 5 minutes aside, flip them over, or till we see that dark brown tone. As you can see, they're submerged pretty deep, but as you cook, some of that oil absorbs, and I like to get a whole cook on it. And as we flip them over, the other side will have a brown look to it, a dark brown look to it. So we'll do 5 minutes and we'll come back, flip them over. We want to get about a 10-minute total cook time. It's now time to flip them over. This is the darkness that you should get. Nice dark colored crust to them. We will leave these in here for another remainder of about another 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. We will once again just sprinkle a little more seasoning on the surface of the side we just flipped over. That's going to give you an added pop and flavor to those salmon. As an additional option, if you want to have just some simple biscuits, I like to get these flaky layer biscuits to go with those salmon. They are really good. So I'm going to preheat my oven at 350 and go ahead and get these in there, and they'll be ready to roll when we get done. They got buttermilk style too, but I like the one with the flaky layers. As you can see, these are nice and brown and ready to go. I'm going to now remove them and put them in my pan. Got a foil pan. Drain a little grease off of those. Kind of stack them away from each other in your tray so the grease can drain off. Man, they smell so good.
This is that crunch.
Fun fact, croquettes originated in France about 1898 by the founder of a classical French cuisine, escoffier. They were originally made of beef, probably leftovers that needed to be used up as escoffier chefs started to travel throughout the world. They took the recipe with them to other cultures where it was transformed based on local cuisines. From the original beef croquette, it branched out into salmon croquettes, fish croquettes, chicken, vegetarian, and many other versions. So that old-fashioned, simple salmon croquettes recipe that many of us enjoyed in childhood turns out to be a fancy cooking invented by Escoffier himself. Who knew? Well, another one in the books. But I hope you enjoyed that salmon croquette recipe. As always, leave a comment on what you think after you try it. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to YouTube settings to get the latest videos and updates weekly. Until next time, remember, it's that easy.
It's that easy. Kitchen recipes.